Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Odile, and we're going to be working on releasing our hips and low back tension. So for today's class, all you'll need is a towel, just an easy bath towel, nothing really fancy. And you're going to take your towel, you're going to go ahead and roll it up in half. And then from here, you're going to roll it up into a burrito. From this burrito shape, we're going to go ahead and place it right onto the center of our mat, and we're going to start our stretches lying down. So I'd like for you to place the towel right in the middle of your mat so that when you roll back onto your towel, you're going to be right at the very bottom of your spine. That's called the sacrum down there, and the very bottom of the spine also is where the hips meet the low back. So we're going to take our left leg and hug that left knee into our chest. As we're doing this, we're curling our pelvis to our head, and as we're curling the pelvis to our head, it creates a tilt of the pelvis. So if I had a coffee cup on top of my pelvis that was on a tray, that coffee cup would be pouring all that coffee on me. So I actually want that for the moment. So that's called a posterior tilt. Maintain that left knee pulling into your chest, and when you're ready, slowly start straightening that right leg out in front of you, not off to the right, but straight out in front of you with the heel heavily weighted down on the floor. Don't worry about straightening your right leg. Then you're going to put your attention on your breath. As you breathe in, you want to feel the breath fill into the side and back ribs. As you exhale, you're going to gently pull your left knee closer to your chest. If this bothers your knee because that pressure on your knee is too much, go ahead and hold behind your thigh, behind your knee. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale. And you might start to feel that your body is already starting to lengthen and release and relax. Last big breath. Good. Okay, you're going to go ahead and change sides. So I'm going to pull my right knee into my chest, swap it out, extend my left leg forward, but I'm still tilting my pelvis so that tray with that coffee cup on it is still pouring itself onto me, and I'm in a posterior tilt. Little by little, I'm going to straighten my left leg towards the front end of my mat, but I'm not trying to achieve a straight knee on my right side. It's really important and a priority to curl the pelvis towards my head. So keep tipping that cup of coffee towards your head. And as you're doing this, you want to create a nice big breath into your whole body. Imagine your whole body can breathe in and your whole body can breathe out. And throughout your stretching practice, the breath is what gives the overall sense of relief and relaxation. The alignment and the mechanics and the technical cues help keep your body safe so that when you're stretching, you're not injuring anything, but actually moving more towards joint health and kind of physical health. And then the breath helps to create that sense of ease and that good feeling that we get after stretching. One more breath. Good. Okay, so then from here we're going to go ahead and bring both feet down. Let's come on up off of our towel, unroll your towel because we're going to move on to our next muscle group, which is the hamstring muscle group. So hamstrings are the muscles in the back of your thighs, and they are hugely contributing to low back tightness. So you're going to go ahead and take your towel and place it around the sole of your right foot. So from here, little by little, straighten your right leg. Then just hold the towel for a second and bring your focus to your pelvis. Remember that cup of coffee? Now I don't want the cup of coffee tilting towards my head. I don't want the cup of coffee tilting towards my feet. I want that tray and that coffee right in the middle so that it is just balanced right up on top of my pelvic bowl. If you're able to achieve kind of a reach of your foot straight up to the sky, that's great. Little by little, if that's challenging for you, just be patient, breathe, and remember to let your body relax even though you're holding this good alignment. If you're ready for more, you're going to slowly straighten that left leg straight in front of you, not off to the left corner of the mat, but straight in front of you. And we're going to breathe here 3 breaths. Think about pulling your toes towards your nose. If you can physically pull your toes, kind of angling them down towards your nose, that's great. If just thinking about it stretches the back of your legs more, that's great. And breathe 2 more breaths. Remember the cup of coffee on the pelvis. Little by little, 1 more breath here. So I'm really sending my thigh bone down into the hip cup. That is actually what brings the relief to your hips and low back, believe it or not. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and swap legs. There are other variations of hamstring stretches. In further videos, I will talk us a little bit deeper into the different variations, but today we're gonna focus on keeping it in this plane and keeping it simple. Okay, so coffee cup, back to that balanced position, not arched, not curled. My left leg now is reaching for the sky. My heel is stretching to the sky especially, and my toes are angling down towards my face. I'm going to keep that pelvis with that nice balanced coffee cup position, right? Not tucking and not arching, but keep it balanced as I extend my right leg. 3 breaths here. Feel the weight of your left thigh bone, thanks to gravity and your right positioning here. Feel the weight of that thigh bone sinking into its hip cup. 1 more breath, breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Okay, so from here we're going to stretch our quadriceps. You're going to go ahead and flip over onto your stomach. If you need your towel for the quadricep stretch, you are welcome to use your towel. If you've never used a prop before and haven't really successfully been able to catch your foot in this position, then this is the stretch for you. So I'm making kind of a little hook with my towel, if you could see that, and then I'm going to hook the front of my foot, the top of my foot, around the towel, or the towel around my foot, I should say, and then I'm going to place my left hand onto the mat and my forehead right onto my left hand. As I do this, I'm not trying to pull my heel to my buttock. That is a helpful event, right? But really what's stretching me is keeping my pubic bone pushing into the mat. So it's really pushing my 2 hip bones and my pubic bone, so the pelvis pressing into the mat. That's what's creating that nice deep quadricep stretch. Last little pointer to keep your body safe is to make sure that your right knee is angled in a straight line behind you, not off to the right side of the mat. So you want to make sure that that kneecap is pointed straight backwards. Your 2 hip bones and pubic bone are pressing into the mat. You're engaging your deep abdominals. 2 more breaths here. Can you feel the stretch? Not because you're yanking on your foot, but can you feel it because you're really pressing your pelvis into the mat? 1 more breath. Very good. Okay. And then let's take our hand over to the other side. So if you need the towel, grab the towel. Otherwise, you're just going to use your left hand holding the front of the left foot. Anchor your pubic bone down into the mat. Make sure both legs are really long and your left knee is pointed straight back behind you. It's not veering off to the left side of the mat. Pubic bone pressing down into the pad, the mat, the floor. Feel your abdominals engage. And remember to bring the breath back into it so your body knows that this is safe and your body can relax. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Great. And then we're going to let that go. So initially when we start stretching and doing these kinds of movements, it can be very uncomfortable, and staying in alignment is going to feel really hard, and in some ways it might cause a little bit of discomfort. As long as it doesn't hurt and that discomfort is just simply like, ooh, I just kind of need to learn how to be in this position, that's great. If you have any concerns, stop immediately. Okay, so now I've rolled my towel back up to a little burrito, and now we're going to work the glutes. Right? So a huge contributing factor to our low back tension is tight glutes. Actually, there's kind of like a weakness, tightness thing that happens a lot of times, which is surprising because often when we think of a tight muscle, we must think, oh, I'm really, really strong in that area. And sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's surprisingly weak. And it's just simply not getting adequate blood supply and stretching and oxygen. Okay, so we're going to sit right on top of our towel. We're kind of rolling and leaning. I don't know if you can see, but I'm kind of tilting over onto my towel. And just even rolling myself on my towel here is creating a little bit of a massage in my glutes. And I'm kind of walking down my towel, working my way up to the top of my glute, and then I'm going to walk back a little bit. Then I kind of find a sweet spot where it's like, oh yeah, that's a good spot. So I'm going to hang out in this position slightly tilted. Can you see that? Then I'm going to take my right ankle and I'm going to place it right on top of my left knee. If you need to lie all the way down because this is feeling really intense, you're absolutely welcome to do that. If you have hip replacement or knee issues, please check in with your physician first and make sure that these stretches are approved for you at the point in time that you are right now in your fitness and wellness practice. Okay, so we're going to rock side to side. And I'm really engaging my abdominals still, okay? And I'm rocking side to side. For more abdominal engaging exercises, follow my other videos on my YouTube channel. This is really designed to help us release tension in our low back. So core is strong and rocking from side to side. Just a couple more here. Does that feel good? It's always surprising, simple little things. Last one. Good. Okay. And then let that go. Let's go to the other side. You might want to fluff up your towel, give it a little more oomph, and then we go over to the opposite side. Okay, so now I've got my other leg up. Again, two different legs, very different. As if this is the side you need to be more mindful of, go ahead and lie all the way down. So I went right up to the figure 4, but actually I'd like us to keep both feet down and then roll over to that left side and just rock and roll. Couple more. Really kind of working your way over. Okay, you found your sweet spot. Now go ahead and place your left ankle on top of your left knee and rock. And so I know in videos, some teachers, some instructors mirror. Sometimes they cue their own leg that they're working. So I'm going to just cue my own leg just so I can stay clear on my cues. But if it looks like I'm stretching my right foot to you because you're mirroring me, that is absolutely fine. Just make sure you do both legs. One more. Okay, perfect. So from here, gonna just have a seat on your mat. If you can, keep your thighs in this crisscross position. If that's not possible, you're gonna just simply open your legs and we're just gonna stretch forward a little bit. And as we stretch forward, what we're doing is we're really stretching and releasing the tension back here, which is pulling us backwards, right? So we're kind of pulling forward. And then sit up nice and tall. Exhale, pull forward. Sit up nice and tall. 3 more, pull forward. Very simple, right? 2 more. And if you're sitting in a cross-legged position, you're just rocking forward. And last one, rocking forward. So if you were sitting cross-legged, go ahead and change your legs. You're going to do 5 more. Forward and upright and 4. So now we're kind of bringing motion and movement into those stretches. 3 and 2 and last one. Good. Okay, very last thing on our stomachs. This is always surprising to folks when I say to release back tension, lie on your stomach, because most people assume that this position, lying on our stomachs, is what's causing the back tension. So that sometimes is true, but not always. As a matter of fact, sometimes the back feels more relief when we're lying on our stomach. Okay, so we're gonna take our towel, we're gonna put it right at the very bottom of the spine where we were kind of at the below the belly button at those hip points. And then I'd like for you to feel that your pubic bone is down on the mat, but your hip points are off the mat. Can you feel that a little bit? Does that make sense? So the hip points are up here, the pubic bone is down, low, just above your thighs, right? So we're at our hip points, and I'm just relaxing here into this position, and I'm gently letting my pubic bone stay anchored onto my mat, letting my hips melt into the towel. And what this is doing is it's bringing my back into a slack. So my back muscles that typically are holding on so tightly are now being supported by this posture. So the muscles can let go. It's like the reins of a horse, just really, really relaxed, right? And just stay here 2 more breaths. If this causes you discomfort or pain, please lie all the way onto your stomach. 1 more breath. Excellent. Okay, come all the way down. Carefully press on up. Wag your tail. So now you're going to take your tail to your left, wag your tail to the right, wag your tail to the left, wag your tail to the right. 1 more each side, releasing the back pain. Excellent. Then we're going to round into cat and arch. So now with your hips free, your hamstrings and quads released, you can start to feel the cat not only in your pelvis and your low back, but all the way across your mid and upper back. Can you feel that? 2 more. Round and stretch. Inhale, release. Exhale, round and stretch. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found this video really informative and helpful, and something you can just kind of turn on, click play, and follow along. If you like the content in this video, please hit subscribe so you get notifications every time I release a new video. I so appreciate you joining me today and taking care of your body and letting me be part of your self-care practice. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.